Good evening, everyone. So excited about this topic. So we are recording, we are live, and I am so excited to kind of kick off our brand new training series that we're going to be doing every Thursday night with you guys. We will be coming at you with a different topic. And I want to just kind of like reach to you guys that are on here now, whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording. If you have requests about anything that you want to be seen through these trainings, that you just have more questions about, please reach out to any of us, because we want to make sure whatever you feel like you need help with, that we are able to help you with that. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of kick things off and just saying kind of the importance of Instagram stories, why they are so huge within our business right now. They are huge right now within all social, within all businesses, whether you're a business or your personal. Instagram stories are just a huge thriving thing right now. And I remember whenever they first came out, I said I would never do them. And here I am, this is one of the, I'm trying to find my phone to mute it because it just went off. This is one of the primary ways that I build my business here, is through Instagram stories. So it just goes to show you that whenever something new does come out, don't automatically just kind of turn your nose up to it and think that this isn't going to be something that you can do to build your business. Because the beauty of this industry, the beauty of where we are with our businesses within social media, things are always and forever changing. And so we can't grow unless we grow with the way things are changing. So we've just got to go with the way things are going. And right now, Instagram stories are huge for that. So I want to kind of throw out a couple of stats for you guys that I literally just looked up 10 minutes ago, because I wanted to kind of share these with you to show you exactly what we have our hands on here with Instagram stories. So first one is, let me make sure everyone's muted. There we go. Okay. The first one that I want to really emphasize here there are 500 million stories used and viewed every single day. Every single day, and that is just the stories. So if you ever in your mind, or anyone ever tells to you, I just think this is saturated, which one, let me just say I haven't heard that in a really, really long time. But if somebody says, I just feel like so many people are selling this, or I don't know anybody who would do this, you guys, there are 500 million people that watch stories every single day. So you guys have your hands on tons and tons of people out here, and we are able to reach the masses with this. So 1 billion monthly users are on Instagram.
Oh, there we go. Never mind. You can want.
Oh, hey, Rach. She popped in there. Okay, so there are 1 billion monthly users every single month on Instagram. So that's just on Instagram, and then 500 million of those are on the stories. So that is insane there. And then this one was really intriguing to me. 68% of all millennials either are watching or are using Instagram stories. 68% of the millennials. That is huge. That was insane to me. So I just had those few wrote down there. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into a couple of different topics here. And again, any questions, you guys just shoot them over into the chat, and then we'll get those answered for you. But I'm just going to kind of take this one topic at a time and then just kind of address it as we go. So like I said, Instagram stories are huge for your business. But one of the biggest things with it that we ourselves have to be doing is consistency. Consistency every single day. And the reason why that is, okay, so whenever you look at your Instagram feed, up at the very top, you're going to see everyone that has a story going at the time. Okay, if you don't have something on your story, your picture isn't up there. Somebody isn't seeing your name up there, which they don't have access to your profile just like that. Whereas if you have stories going continually, constantly, they see your name up there at the top of their main feed on their Instagram. So that's going to give them access to either messaging you or going to your profile and looking at what you have right there at their fingertips. So we want to make sure we're being super consistent with it. And I know this is going to vary from every person as you go with your schedule and whatnot. Every day is different for me, but I think 6 to 10 different things on your story. You guys, I still have not found my phone. I don't know where it's at. It's going off here, so don't mind this. I think 6 to 10 new things on your story every single day is the perfect consistency that you need. And I don't think that should be 6 things at 10 o'clock in the morning and then that's it. I feel like it should be something like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because then every single time that you're adding something new, it's going to be able to bump your stories back over to the beginning of those stories, which again is going to put your face in front of other people again. That makes sense as far as like consistency and how often to be posting. Perfect. Good. And now you're probably wondering, what in the heck do I post about? Like, I don't have things to post about to where I can be on here 6 to 10 times a day. You guys, you do. Like, I absolutely promise you. And I think it's so funny because every single one of us, we are like, I just don't have that much to talk about, or my life isn't that interesting. How many of you guys have ever said, my life is just not that interesting? I have said it so many times, but here's the thing. I don't know if this is Ashley who is blowing up my phone right here, but I don't know where my phone is. So, but your life is interesting. People do care about your life. They care about your family. They care about your passions, all of that stuff. And while we might not think our life is that interesting, you guys, I think my life is pretty dang boring, but I'm going to just highlight the heck out of everything and let people see my every single day here just through my stories. So I want you guys to kind of think about, and this was talked about at the training last weekend, and I absolutely loved it. I'm going to insert plug here of this is why we go to events and watch events and listen to events, because we hear these new like aha moments. So this was talked about this weekend of finding out what your 5 pillars are. Like 5 things about you that you feel like you want to just throw into your post, you want to just throw into your stories, just 5 things that are just about you. And if you can't think of 5 things, you guys go to the person closest to you. Maybe this is your spouse or your best friend or your sibling or your coworker, and ask them to list 5 things that they feel like are your interest, 5 things that are your hobbies, or just 5 things about you. And I want you guys to have those just be the 5 things that you focus on here. Outside of It Works. So whenever you name those 5 things, I don't want It Works to be one of those 5 things. I want those 5 pillars to be you. Because at the end of the day, you guys, I will always be Chrissy Mueller. I will never be, at the end of the day, just an It Works distributor, because here's the deal. It Works have already created their brand. I'm just somebody within that brand, and I'm Chrissy Mueller. I'm not just that It Works distributor. So a challenge that I want you guys to be doing is just working on those 5 pillars, and that's what's going to help you figure out what your content is that you can go and post. I found my phone. That you guys can go and post to your stories and your feeds. So that's going to help you there. Okay, so let me kind of go into the different type of content ideas that you guys can be doing if you're just kind of not sure where to start. 1, inspirational things that you can be doing, and that could be just an inspirational quote. You guys, Pinterest is our very best friend, and I use this all the time, whether it's going to be for a quote or whether it's going to be for background pictures that I could use for things. So inspirational things, your family. You guys, let people into your lives, let them get to know you, and your family is one of them. Your story, who you are, where you come from, where you are going with this. And another big one is your why. Let people in and let them see like why you are essentially doing this, why you are a business owner, what you hope to achieve by being a business owner here. And then Alicia brought up a good point earlier whenever we were talking about this, and she was talking about the like, know, and trust. So I think this is something that she is really good at. So I'm going to have her unmute herself and just kind of go over this like, know, and trust with you guys of how you can kind of incorporate this in with your stories.
Yeah, so when we were talking earlier, basically like what I think of our stories, like Chrissy and I were saying, like your feed should almost be like your constant billboard. Anybody can go to your billboard and see your feed at any time and can kind of get an idea of who you are. but I feel like your stories is really your opportunity to allow people to get to know you, to see the behind the scenes, and to allow people to feel like they truly like they know you, to feel like they can like you and that they can trust you. So like when I think about that, I want them to see my everyday, like not so perfect, beautifully filtered pictures. I want them to see videos.
I think you're frozen, Leash. We'll see if she unfreezes real quick. Because I see all of your guys' heads moving just fine. Is she frozen for you guys too? Okay. Okay, so basically, hopefully she's not still talking and I'm just like talking over here. Basically, the gist of what she was saying here is you don't have to have these perfectly filtered pictures for your stories. Like I will get on my stories in the mornings and whenever I'm making my coffee. And so just letting people see the real you, because that's what's going to help them connect with you and relate to you. And we want to establish that level of trust with our potentials or even just our followers on Instagram, because that's going to help them, one, feel more comfortable that they can come to us if they have a question about their health goals or if they have a question about what we do essentially and if they could do it too. But what I love is like whenever you're able to do that, this is also my way of connecting with my current loyal customers too. Like I feel like we can get down on that level and just kind of have those conversations back and forth because they feel like they know me. Because if somebody doesn't feel like they know me and they're one of my loyal customers and I'm trying to figure out what exactly, like maybe they're not seeing the results as quickly as they want, and I'm not going to be like, so are you going to the restroom? Like, tell me about this. And I feel like I can have this conversation with somebody that like we've connected before and they feel like they can trust me. So like, know, and trust. People want to follow the people that they like. They want to get to know you and they want to be able to trust you. So that's something that you're going to be able to establish through your stories. Another really amazing thing that you can feed into your content with your stories here. And I totally get this because the very first time that I started to do this, I was like so nervous. I had to redo this video 10 times, and that is letting people see you through a video on your story. And that is another way that's going to build that relationship, that like, know, and trust. So start out with just you, maybe not even talking anything about like your products or your opportunity, just you at the park with your kids, just talking about what you're doing or something like that. Or maybe you're getting ready to go on a vacation, but just letting people see you. It's fun to go in and create those fun looking stories that you can do for your product and your opportunity. But excuse me, you guys, I can assure you that people are going to get so much more from a video of you talking. I promise you. And I know it can be a little bit scary at first, but once you overcome that, you're going to be able to rock out at those stories with your videos. So if you can shoot for doing this every day, every other day, a few times a week, this is actually going to boost your algorithm with your stories, because people are going to stick around to hear what you have to say rather than just clicking really fast through ones that just have the wording, and they're not going to be able to relate to just the wording there. So let yourself be seen. And so I challenge you guys, like either tonight, if you don't feel comfortable doing it tonight, do it tomorrow. Just get on your story and create a quick video. And if you don't feel comfortable with just like the straight on way without any filters or anything like that, you guys go to Snapchat. Apply one of the goofy little filters, and that'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable with doing it too. And then just save it and upload it to your Instagram story, and it's that simple. Okay, let's, if I can talk here, let's move on to, we're going to kind of get to some fun stuff here. I promise it's not going to be us just throwing a bunch of this stuff up at you guys. Let me make sure I've gone over all that. Okay, let's go over some etiquette really quick, because there is a such thing as Instagram story etiquette. So a lot of my new distributors, I encourage them to utilize the screenshot option on their Instagram stories. And so basically what this allows you to do, you can take your phone, hold your finger down on the phone as you're watching somebody's story, and you can screenshot it. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to remove that person's name up at the top right-hand corner, and you're going to be able to use that for your story and just like that. But here's the thing, you guys, like this is something that is perfectly fine to do in the beginning. It's fine to do every once in a while, but I want to encourage you guys to create your own, like get creative with it, be you, sound like you within your stories, because believe it or not, like people can tell whenever you put up a story and they know that you put in the intention for that. That's you talking on that story with that content there. Jess, I have a feeling you have our spouses in there. Okay, sorry guys, got distracted, but people can tell whenever it's you and you've put in the effort with that story and when they haven't. So utilize the stories that other people are doing, but then utilize them for your basically inspiration to create your own. I promise you guys it's going to help you. And whenever you start out, you might feel like I'm not very creative. You guys, you don't have to be the most creative person here to have successful stories or to even make a lot of money here. I promise you absolutely don't. Just have fun with it. And then I'll kind of go over some different apps that I like to use that you guys can use for your story. I'll do that more towards the end. And one of them in particular, Alicia and I, and then a couple other leaders possibly, will do a specific Zoom specifically for that app to just kind of dive into it and show you all the fun tips and tricks with it. Okay, so let's kind of go over, I know this is a question a lot of people have of how to boost your algorithm with your stories. And I want to kind of show you guys how you can boost your algorithm to where it'll kind of work towards your story algorithm, but also your post algorithm as well. So first and foremost, same goes with posting as it does with stories. You like whenever somebody engages with your stories. It feels good. You know somebody is looking at your content, just like whenever you get a like or a comment on your post, it feels good. Like you know that that person genuinely meant to do that. And so I want you guys to do what you want to receive. Okay, so think about it like this. As you're going through your stories, if you're watching somebody's stories, you can swipe up and you can drop the heart emoji, or you can do the wow emoji or anything like that. Let people see that. And then one, that's going to let Instagram know that you are interested in this person's content. So they're going to continue to show you their stuff, but they're also going to continue to show that person your stuff. So think about, you have this person on Instagram, they're on your dream team and you want them on your team so bad, and you're just not ready to get into their inbox yet. You guys start engaging on their stories, because that's going to allow them to see your stuff more. And then that way, if you pop into their inbox one day and you just want to talk to them about the opportunity because you think they would be so good at this, they are going to know what you're talking about because they've seen your stuff, like because you're continually popping up at the front of their stories because you're engaging and interacting on their stuff. But another thing that you can do, use your Instagram stories to boost your Instagram post algorithm, but then vice versa. You can use your Instagram post to boost the algorithm of your Instagram stories. So to kind of like break that down a little bit, one thing that I like to do, if I put up a new post on my Instagram feed, I'm going to either, there's two ways that you can do this. You can go to the post that you put up on your feed. You can go to share that. Let me walk you guys through this really quick. All right, so say I went on my feed here, and then if you, okay, so here's a, well, let's see if I can do this. Here's a picture that I did yesterday. If you see on yours, you see the heart, you see the comment, and then you see that little arrow there. If you click that arrow, you can click add this post to your story. And then what that's going to do is it's going to literally add that post to your story. So that way, when someone is going through your story, all they have to do is literally click that picture, and it's going to take them to the post. Okay, so it's literally as simple as them just clicking it. So that's going to allow them to see your post more by you just adding it to your story. But another way that you can do that is you can just take a quick screenshot of your Instagram feed, just your profile on Instagram. Take a screenshot, and then you're going to take that screenshot over into your Instagram story. Okay, now here's where we're going to have some fun. You're going to go into your Instagram story, and that screenshot is going to be in your camera roll. So if I can get my camera roll to load. Okay, let me take a screenshot again because that one didn't work. The beauty of doing this right here with you guys. Okay. Now we're here. Okay, so here's my screenshot of what I did with the screenshot of my Instagram profile. Okay. And then, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to swipe up, because this gives me all the different features that we can do within the Instagram stories. And I'm going to choose the GIF. I don't know if you'd call this a GIF or a GIF, but we're going to call it a GIF. And I'm going to search the word post. And then inside here are a bunch of different GIFs that are going to pop up. And I'm just going to choose one of them that says new post. And I'm going to slide this over to the square of my new post. So they're not going to see exactly what it looks like here. They're just going to see that popping new post up right there. Okay. And so let's say I made a post that is towards like I'm expanding my team, or I'm hiring, or something like that. I don't know what just happened in my kitchen there. Something just fell. But anyway, no one is out there. But what I'm going to do is, if my post is about I'm expanding my team, or I'm looking for people that are looking to make an extra $500 a month or something like that, I'm going to add on there, like I can put, go check out my new post, or you can add a little like curiosity to it of, if anyone's looking to make some extra income this summer, check out this new post. Whoever is looking to make extra income, they're going to want to know what I'm talking about here. So it's going to make them want to go to my page to go check out that new post. So that's a way that you're going to be able to use your story to boost your algorithm on your post. Okay. Now, Alicia did a really good one today. That was good. She had a post or a story up where she was asking a question, and she wanted to get some insight and some votes on it beyond just the people that were going to see her story whenever they were going through. So she made a post of some exterior home questions. Like, you guys, this had nothing at all to do with It Works. And she went and said, go check out my story and vote which one you think. You guys, that boosted the algorithm of her story. But what it was also going to do, once that person viewed that one story, they were going to continue to see the stories after that. So she could have put up a product post or an opportunity post after that. And all those people that went to go look at her story to vote on exterior siding colors, we're going to be able to see her product and opportunity post after that. So that was one thing that was absolutely brilliant. Alicia, are you back on here now? I feel like I see you now.
Yeah, I am. I was going to say that after, as soon as they voted, the very next post that I did was about keto coffee. So then they saw the results, and then I had people commenting and voting on that. So, but I knew, I know that my audience is very attracted to, like the house type things, and you know what I mean? So I knew that I would get good response from that. So I knew that I had to have the stories ready before I even said, hey, go vote on my story. So it was ready to go, and I knew they would see it right after.
Yes, I love that. Or even having some right before it, because then they had to go through those to be able to vote on your house question. But I think that raises another good point, is you know what your audience is. Because of your 5 pillars, you probably focus on those type of people to add into your network, because you know you're going to have a connection with them, and they're going to continue to enjoy seeing what you're posting about. So utilizing your audience to know what to post within your stories there is important as well. Oh, one other thing that I want to add about boosting your algorithm for your stories. So this one is going to be specifically to just the public accounts. And the reason why this is because it involves hashtags. And hashtags are only visible to outside audiences, outside of your followers, if you're a public account. So if you're a private account, you won't be able to utilize this tool. But what you can do is, obviously, whenever you're creating a new story, whenever you swipe up, you can use the hashtag option, and that's going to pop into, like, let's just say you chose, I'm going to be super like vague here, and I'm just going to choose fitness. I would encourage you guys to be a little bit more specific with it, but we'll just be vague for the sake of this. And we just chose fitness as a hashtag. Your story is going to show up on the hashtag fitness story, because hashtags have their own stories too. So your story is going to pop up within that. But another thing that you can do here, if you click the letters up at the very top of your story, and you just start typing in your own hashtag. So you could do, I'm just going to throw out some random popular ones. You could do hashtag fitness space, hashtag mom life, hashtag coffee, hashtag Radon, because I hashtag that all the time. Hashtag family. Okay. You can throw up as many as you want there. Okay. So we obviously don't want to see 30 hashtags showing up on your story. Like that's just going to be really tacky and people aren't going to be able to read what you have here. So what you can do, have the color of this font match a certain part of your story. And then you can make this font be super small, like make it as small as you possibly can. And I have those 6 hashtags on this story here, but you can't see them because I made them super small. But my story is going to pop up in those hashtag stories. So it's almost like as if you're doing a secret hashtag without all these hashtags showing up on your story here. But it's going to allow your story to get out there beyond just your followers as well. Does that make sense? I didn't like totally throw you guys off there with it. Perfect. Alicia, do you have any last minute tips you want to throw in about boosting the algorithm with your stories?
Yes, I do. One thing I have learned is that my stories, my posts, everything does better if I actually take the time after I post it. So trying my best to not post and ghost. I noticed that everything's definitely boosted. You know, if I take, another 5 minutes, maybe if I just posted a story, if I take another 5 minutes and start scrolling through my followers' stories, and that will actually help, mine in return. So not to post and ghost.
I love that. That's perfect. And I really do love that, just so you know. Okay, we're going to move on to another way that you can, and this kind of goes along with boosting the algorithm a little bit too, but Instagram likes when you use Instagram's tools. Like bottom line, maybe they're a little selfish. It just is what it is. They like when they use what they have to offer here. So basically you are, let's just say, putting up, I'm just going to do the screenshot again of my feed, do whatever you want. But whenever you swipe up, you have the location option, which location option is another way that you're going to be able to build or boost your algorithm and reach outside of just your immediate network. You have the hashtag, you have GIFs, you have where you can add music, you have polls, questions, countdown, the emoji slider, and we have this brand new one, the quiz. So if you guys haven't yet noticed that, this quiz is like a multiple choice option that you guys can use for your followers. So use these tools, you guys. Instagram likes when you use their tools. I try to use them on almost everything I do. Sometimes I get a little GIF crazy. I like to add music to some of my stories that I'm doing with videos of me making keto coffee or making my collagen or anything like that, just utilizing the music. And you guys, all you do is you go in there and you search what song you would like to add to it. You can search by moods, whether they're popular, different genres, different stuff like that. But I want to go over the quiz option and let you guys see like just how exciting this is within our stories right now. So with the quiz, you can add some options, and with this right now, there's going to be a right answer, and there's going to be, let's say you have 4 options. There's going to be a right answer and then 3 wrong answers. We're not going to go according to that, okay? We're going to use this as a multiple choice option that somebody can use to, you could use this for opportunity, you could use this for products. But what I did a few days ago is I put that, I don't even remember exactly what it was. I was just running a month-end special or something like that. And I wanted to see what people's goals were. So I put weight loss as a goal. I put detox as a goal. I put grow long hair as a goal and boost energy as another goal. You guys, as people voted or chose what they want to focus on, I was able to swipe up and I could see who voted for which one. And I was able to message that person to be able to help them with their health goals or their detox or their boosting energy or growing out their hair goals. It almost took like a chunk of a conversation out that I would have with a potential to just kind of cut to the chase of what they are focused on here. I didn't need to ask them if they wanted to grow their hair out, if they voted that they were wanting to focus on weight loss here. So utilizing that, but even having fun with it. Like the very first time I used it, I made it be just something about me and nothing at all about the products and the opportunity. I put up 4 different statements and I put one of these is true, the other 3 are false, and then just let people vote. And it's just a way, again, that's going to boost your algorithm with it. You're utilizing Instagram's tools and they love whenever you do that. So that's a new tool that just recently showed up within the past week. Alicia, do you want to add anything for those? No? Good. Okay, I'm going to kind of talk about some of these things whenever you go to put up a new story. Instead of just utilizing the camera roll option, I want to kind of go over some of these things on the bottom of different ways that you can upload things to your story. So you can actually just type a statement if you want to and just have a colored background, just like we do on Facebook. Like if you put up something and there's no picture, you can choose a colored background. You can do that to your Instagram as well and doing it just simple like that. Another one that I use all the time within here is the boomerang. Just make quick little snaps of videos that just go back and forth. I utilize this boomerang in here all the time, you guys. I absolutely love it. But then you can also get fun with it with this super zoom one. It adds, I think there's 1, 2, 3. There's like 8 to 10 different things that you can do here. So like let's say I wanted to take a picture of my collagen here. I could do the hearts one and it would just take a picture of a video of it zooming in and just throwing a bunch of hearts over the screen. You guys, it's just a fun way to just kind of spruce up your stories and just add a little flair to them. The biggest thing with all of this that we are giving you guys is just have fun with it. And these tools are here to let you have fun with it. Throw up some music, throw up some GIFs, throw up some of these super zooms, like just have fun with it. Don't throw up, but just put up. There we go. Okay. Another one that is fun is the hands-free option. You guys, I have no idea how long this feature was here, and I did not even realize it until I was either watching a Zoom or I went to an event. No, I watched the live stream from Asheville, and I was like, oh, I did not even know that was there. So hands-free, what this allows you to do, let's say you want to make a video this weekend, which I highly encourage you guys to do, of you making your keto coffee, and you're going to be able to talk about the keto coffee and the chocolate greens and the benefits of all of this. But you're like, how in the world am I going to take this video with my hands and then pour everything into my mug? And it just seems like a huge mess. You guys, you don't have to. Here's this hands-free button where you just literally set it down. You click the button, you have your 2 hands, and it's videoing for you. So for so long, I'm like, how are these people like talking with their 2 hands and taking a video? You guys, it's just the hands-free option inside your Instagram stories here. So another tool that you can just use within Instagram, you guys, these tools are here. They're super simple. They're obviously free. Utilize them. I promise they're going to be able to help you boosting your algorithm, getting out there more for your stories. Okay, Jamie said, does anyone know of a good tripod for hands-free, or do you just prop it up? Okay, so sometimes I like to get a little fancy and I break out my tripod, and I just got it off of Amazon for like $15, but I'm going to be honest, 90% of the time I go in my kitchen and I get like an extra coffee mug that I'm not using, and I pop open my pop socket and I have it lean up against a coffee mug. And it's just like that simple, you guys. And then I just press that hands-free button and that's it. So I'm going to kind of bounce on into apps and show you another way that you can do some videos here. Alicia, you got something?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just going to add, I always wondered for the longest time how people did the videos where they were like making their coffee like really fast. I don't know if Chrissy was getting ready to go into this or not, but I'm like, how are they doing that? You guys, it's just if you have an iPhone and you go to your camera option, it's called time lapse, and you can do that. But sometimes it looks like you're in like crazy, like fast forward motion. And you can also use Snapchat. And Chrissy was teaching me this the other day. You lock it so it's basically like hands free. And then you can just fast forward it once. So it's not in like crazy fast forward, but it's still in fast forward motion. So time lapse and Snapchat.
Exactly what I was going to say. And for so long, I'm like, how in the world are people locking their Snapchat? I went on Google and I'm like searching this. And so you guys, it's so simple. You just go as if you're making a video. You have that circle right there. You hold it down and you move your thumb over to the left and it locks the video. Whenever I notice this, I'm like, oh my God, this is so simple. And I wish I had known about this for forever. So yeah, and whenever you're in Snapchat, you can, once you've created your video, you can add different filters to it. And so if you just keep swiping over to the ones where you can speed up the filters, I do like the first speed up option, not like the super fast. That way it'll kind of usually cut it into 2 videos for me within Snapchat within Instagram, because your videos in Instagram have to be 15 seconds or shorter. So it created a 30-second clip for me by me speeding it up. And I was able to upload 2 clips into my stories. But I was able to have wording on one and then change up the wording on the other one. And it didn't take me 10 stories slides to do. So I use that Snapchat option all the time. I absolutely love it. Okay. We want to go into
just one thing there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I notice a lot of us definitely use it to, like, when we're making our coffee, or say if we're doing our collagen and immunity. I also think it would be a really good idea for us to do, say, like a nightly skincare, like showing that we're using the cleanser, the toner, the exfoliating peel, and the moisturizer and all of that, just to kind of like showcase that we have more than just the coffee and more than just, all of those products. So just kind of think outside the box on how you can use these different video options.
For sure. And that's one thing that I love about stories is, so on my Instagram feed, I'm probably not going to put a video up of me making my coffee or something like that. What I'm going to do instead is just take a cute picture of my coffee and I'm going to put that up on my feed. But in my story is where I'm going to break down me making the coffee. So I think that's important to kind of see where our post is just like that 15-second, like our billboard, just a quick glimpse is the word I'm looking for, glimpse into our lives and our business and everything that we have here. So that's just our quick glimpse that people can get. Whereas our story is where they dig a little bit deeper. It's essentially our diary here, and we let them in on a little bit more. So letting people see you use the products, make the products, that's what's also going to help you guys there. Okay, let's go into some apps. And I'll kind of tell you guys what apps I use, what the uses of them are for, and then I will let Alicia kind of add some more if I didn't name them. And if I didn't name any, you guys can throw them into the chat as well. So Over, I am absolutely obsessed with. I want to tell you guys a quick tip with this. And so this was the app that I was telling you guys about earlier, that we will have a specific training Zoom just on this app, because I know it can be a little overwhelming once you first dive into it. But you guys, there are so many features inside of this app that you guys are going to be able to use for your stories. This is, besides Snapchat, pretty well the only app that I use for my stories. A quick tip for you guys. I don't want you to go in there and download the app and think you need to pay $100 for the app, because you don't. Because there is an option to upgrade your app for $100, but you guys, you don't need to do that. There is a free version where you have just a limited amount of graphics and fonts and all that good stuff that you guys can use. But I want to show you a quick tip. And this is something that you can utilize between now and the next training that we do with the Over app. You can actually do a free 7-day trial. And within this free 7-day trial, you can download some of the graphics, like let's just say you went into the app and you have just a blank slate here, you're starting with making your story. There are graphics within the Over app that you can use, and you can add these to your collections to be able to use for future stories that you're making. But whenever you're doing this 7-day free trial, you guys have access to all of the fonts, all of the graphics, literally everything within Over. And if you go to those graphics and just start picking out the ones that you like, add them to your collections. Same with the fonts. Download the ones inside Over that you feel like that you're going to be able to use. And then whenever your 7-day free trial is up, you're going to not have access to the future pro stuff, but you're going to have access to all of that pro stuff that you downloaded during your 7-day free trial. So that is something that's going to be able to help you with your creativity for making stories in the future. Just make sure after your 7 days, you log into your settings on your phone and just make sure it doesn't charge you that subscription. You'll want to turn that subscription off. So that is Over. That's going to help you be so creative with your stories. If you guys see some of mine and Alicia's stories and some of the other girls and you're wondering how the heck they made that, majority of the time it is through Over. Like, it's so much fun. I absolutely love it. Another one that I do really like, let me make sure I'm going into the right one, is Unfold. And so basically what this is a bunch of different templates that you can use for your story. So what you can do is you're going to go and create a new story. And so you're going to have a blank, a blank slate here. Okay. Let's see if you can even see that. And then you're going to be able to click, there's a plus button at the bottom, and it's going to have a bunch of different templates that you can use to create one of your stories. You can add pictures, you can do fonts, you can do all that fun stuff. And it's just super quick and easy to do to where you don't need to spend a whole lot of time. You don't need to dive into Over yet. You can just utilize it on this Unfold app. It's just called Unfold. And then you can just spruce it up with some GIFs from your Instagram story right before you post it within there. The other one is obviously Snapchat. Use that one all the time. If you're looking for something for just some nice fonts, some wording, you can use WordSwag. This one is one where you can just add in some of that fancy font if you want to. That's really the gist of the ones that I use. Alicia, do you want to add any more?
I will be totally honest with you. As far as my Instagram stories go, I'm going into Over. Over is really the only app that I use for my stories. But my feed, I'll use some other ones. But Over it's where it's at.
I agree. I love it. And I have so much fun with it. I mean, I use the Over for promotion pictures and just different stuff like that I like to use. Okay. So Alicia, if there's anything you can think of that you want to add, feel free. I'm just going through the notes here to see. One thing I want to add really quick. For people that are voting, people that are using the emoji slider, people that are voting on your quiz that you're putting up, whether it's the quiz or the poll, you guys, I highly encourage you to message these people. We'd be silly if we don't message them. So the way that you're going to be able to see who these people are, you're going to go to your story, and if you swipe up, within the first 24 hours, you can see everybody that's viewed it, every single person that's viewed it, but you'll always be able to see who voted and who utilized whatever tool you added in your archives on your Instagram profile. But Instagram did just change it to where just within the first 24 hours are you able to see who's viewed your story. But you can use this to your advantage here. So let's just say you type something up about, and it's like 5 slides long, and it's about some success stories within It Works, or it's maybe talking about you are expanding your team this month or something like that. And somebody watched through all 5 of those stories, I would absolutely send them a message because they sat there and they watched that. They're intrigued because they kept going. So within that first 24 hours, I would go to that last slide and I would just swipe up and message those people. And if it is your story, I would start out that message with thanking them for just sitting there and watching what you had to say there. And then just asking them if they would be interested in learning more about what you do to see if it's something that they could do too. super simple, and they're going to know what you're talking about because they just watched 5 slides there. So just taking advantage of that. And like I said, first 24 hours, you're able to see those viewers. If you are unsure of where to see, maybe you're at your 26-hour mark and you missed some people who voted on your poll. If you just go to your profile and you go up on the very top left-hand corner, there's a little dial that looks like a clock. If you click that, you're going to be able to see all of your stories from now until whenever you very first started. But I also like to use this, and I recycle my stories a lot. So get creative with like a few different ones and then continue to use them. Like, it's totally okay if you do that. So just utilizing that archive to recycle some of your stories, recycle those stories of your own personal or some of those success stories, because that's just the simplicity, and people seeing the same things over and over is going to be good for them. Another tip is don't focus on 10 products that we have to offer here. For each week, I like to choose like 1 to 3 products to talk about in my story. And then I'm always going to be focusing on the opportunity, but I want to keep it simple and just focus on those 1 to 3 products for a week. And then next week, it might be 2 of those 3 products and one other product added in there with it. But I want to keep it so simple, so duplicatable, but also I don't want somebody to be like, what in the world does she have to offer here? Because she's posting about 20 different things all of the time. Like, I want to be super consistent with what I'm posting about here. And I like to post about ones that people like to see results. It's just, we're a microwave society. People like instant gratification. So I'm going to post about the cleanse. I'm going to post about the TFX, and I'm going to post about the keto coffee / chocolate greens. Like, those are my 3 main go-tos. Know your audience and know what they would be interested in is going to also help you with what to post about or include in your stories. Let's see here. Alicia, you got anything you want to add?
Okay, so I did get kicked off for a little bit. So I'm thinking when I hopped back on, you were talking about direct to camera posting stories. Is that right? Okay. The one, and I don't know if you talked about this, as much as I think like direct to camera stories are important, I also think like even them just hearing your voice is important. So even if you don't have it facing you, if they can hear you talking about you making coffee, I think that's something that adds value and something that allows them, that they feel like they can trust you. I don't know, there's just something with hearing the person behind the screen talking.
I think that's perfect, but I also think it's like perfect because like you're switching it up. Like, it's not just you facing the camera and talking every single day. Like, they're seeing a different version of it. And
yes.
I also want to add, like, it's not just me talking about the coffee, like in a video once a week. Like, I'm getting on here consistently. I don't do every single morning, but I try to do every couple of mornings of me making my coffee or me talking about my coffee. Like, people know that I am obsessed with this coffee because they see me making it all the time and they see me talking about it all the time. So sometimes I just do it super fast and I'm not even talking in the background. They're just seeing me making my coffee in one slide because I used the Snapchat feature and I swiped over enough to where it was super fast. Or another one is just me talking and they're seeing me making it. That's what I did this morning. Or again, it's my face where I have my phone propped up and doing that hands-free option within either Instagram or Snapchat. Alrighty, I think we kind of zoomed through our list pretty quick. I don't know if I have anything else that I feel like we need to go over. Good. Okay, do you guys in the chat, do you have any questions about anything whatsoever? Tiffany did ask about like a ripped option on stories, and I saw her ask that on the team page under the picture. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. This is either you using Unfold. There is a ripped option, a template within Unfold there that you can use. But if you go into Over, you go to the graphics and you search ripped, there are a bunch of different graphics that you can use to just overlay pictures to make it give that ripped effect. But we'll dive into Over a little bit more the next time that we do. Okay, Instagram feed, I had trouble finding something to post something that matches my feed. That is where your 5 pillars are going to come in there. Focus on the 5 things that are about you. And if you're just lost at coming up with those 5, again, reach out to those people around you. What are 5 things about me that you see from the outside looking in? And so that's what's going to be able to help you with your content through your stories and your feed, to kind of just mesh it all together to where you feel like there's some sort of organization and system there. It's not just us spewing things out to our feed and our stories.
I also feel like at this point in the game, our Instagram feed, like I felt like it used to where we had to post to our feed like 2 times a day, where I don't feel like we're at that at this point. At this point, I feel like Instagram stories is truly, it needs to be your focus. And if you are feeling rushed to put something out on your feed, your audience is going to know that and they're going to feel it. So wait till you have that content. Wait till you have that picture that's going to fit in. And don't worry about just pushing it out there as much as you're focused on the stories. Like, honestly, like stories is the main focus right now.
Mm-hmm. And you can, I mean, I post to my feed every couple of days. I'm not even on my feed every day. But if you go to my stories, you see I'm blowing up my stories all day long, like all day long. And I have like 5 or 6 other leaders within the company that I look at their feed, their stories a lot, because I use their stories as inspiration and ideas of things that I can add to my story feed. And inspiration to create my own is the key words there. Like, I want to be able to still be me again at the end of the day. I don't want you guys to try to create Chrissy, and I don't want you to try to create Alicia. I just want you to just emphasize yourself within those stories. Alrighty. If you guys don't have any other questions, I think we are done for tonight. Anybody have anything else before we wrap this up? Good? Good. All right.